Well, Yvonne, there's been fair share of drama, tears, and joy under Honiara's often unbearable heat, and I'm still dripping in sweat. But spirits are high here in camps, particularly in the camps, with spectators enjoying 13 of the 24 sports that are part of the Pacific Games, and that includes 24 countries who are aiming for gold, silver and bronze, and that also includes Australia and New Zealand. But there's just been a whole celebration the past few days. It's now day 4, a whole celebration of culture and sports, and as you can see right behind me, rugby sevens also taking place here.
Yes, it's all happening right behind you. What have been the main highlights of the Games so far?
Well, Solomon's own Iron Lady, Jenny Winnie, she started off as the flag bearer for the host nation at the opening ceremony. This spectacular ceremony that took place, earlier this week on Sunday. But all eyes were on her as, the next day she progressed into her weightlifting category and bagging 3 gold medals at the age of 40. And Yvonne, truly her strength and experience have been unmatched. But off the field, on a low light rather, it's the Fijian and the Samoan league players who had a goal, and that's what people are talking here, as well as creating some talks on social media about their role. And at this stage, we're not sure of any disciplinary actions that have taken place or any fines that have been imposed.
Well, this is the biggest event Solomon Islands has ever hosted, and it's first time hosting. Organisers say the event is running smoothly. Is that your feeling on the ground, apart from that brawl that you were talking about just then?
Well, it's my first Pacific Games coverage, and I feel like the events are running smoothly as they're supposed to. Particularly in the Pacific, we are well known for island time, but it's great to see that events are starting on time here, and organization has just been at least getting there or starting on time. But there's a need, however, for a little bit more improvement when it comes to transportation and communication. We only had a press conference pre-opening games ceremony, and the games organizing committee have identified some of these challenges. And like you said, Solomon Islands is the first time to host this biggest event in their country, so no doubt the organizers are taking these into consideration as the days go along.
There were questions in the lead up to the Games over Australia sending a substantial security force of more than 500 soldiers and police to the Games. Have they been making their presence known around the venues and on the streets?
Absolutely, Yvonne. We can see their presence. We can feel their presence here. They have been conducting, some of them have been conducting routine securities. There's quite a high visibility of these officers across the many different venues that host the Pacific Games. And they're not only the Australians that are here. We have, they are also here under the Solomon Islands International Assistance Forces. And part of the forces has Papua New Guinea and the New Zealand Defence Force as well. So they're all working together alongside Chinese police officers. But all of this have been on the request of the Solomon Islands government, and to ensure that the local capability of the police officers here have been boosted with this, and just to ensure that everything is under control to make this Pacific Games safer one for everyone around. And just earlier on today, I saw all hands on from these officers, police personnel that were on the ground right behind the National Stadium when a minor incident happened. So it was good to see them working together, coordinating traffic, and just communicating effectively and ensuring that the problem was resolved.
Well, we saw Solomon Islands Medical Association President raise concerns over the impact the Games are having on medical treatment in the capital. What can you tell us about that?
Dr. Pedicol Togamai, the president for the Medical Association, has been calling for urgent assistance at the country's only national referral hospital. Now, Currently, as the games are progressing, we have the U.S. Mercy Hospital ship that's here to provide medical services for the athletes for the next 2 weeks. But in terms of medical capacity on the ground at the National Referral Hospital, Mr. Togamai, the president, claims that the emergency department was closed for over a month due to no money. There was delays in fund for the maintenance and refurbishments of this ward, and as well as the Pacific Games being the government's major commitment. And although this, although we've heard and seen from Medical Association, the Health Ministry have also come out to water down these accusations, saying that there's a certain procedure to follow when it comes to airing some of these grievances. But Yvonne, it's people's lives at stake here, and that's the bigger question that needs to be answered.
Indeed. Well, just lastly, turning our attention back to the sports, looking ahead to the coming week, what are the big draw card events that people are looking forward to?
Well, it certainly is happening next week here right behind me when the athletics kicks off on Monday. We're expecting track and field events here. But I think one that certainly will draw in the crowds is that a new Pacific Sprint King and Queen will be crowned right here next week. And that will draw in, we're expecting large crowds to come into the National Stadium. And of course, going into the second week, we're expecting many of these competitions, especially with team sports coming into their finals, and as well as other sporting events. So a lot more excitement will be coming out from here in Honiara in the next few days.
We look forward to it. Chrisnrita, thank you so much.
We'll take that.